Hello, this is Simracing Corner. I wasn't expecting to make another one of these beta videos. Beta 8 came out and I thought Beta 7 was the last one, and I said that quite confidently yesterday, and I was clearly completely wrong. So 24 hours later, Beta 8 came out, so this is my Beta 8 video. So the changelog isn't very extensive as per usual. If you check under the description, the video description, I've pasted the information there, and you can just see here. It's a pretty short little list. But we did get Snetterton 200. That's a layout of the Simcats down there. Hello, Simcat. And we also got the MLX Duratec, which is a really nice metal Moro. And I ran a video earlier today on that one, so you've seen it. Only has one livery, so every car in that race had that kind of gold colour. So it wasn't very exciting looking, but yeah, it's not bad. So in Beta 8, which wasn't a particularly big download, they have made some physics and AI changes. Just look at that. Yeah, so they just did AI throttle application. What else have we got? Upped AI personality aggression range. And there's been some revised physics for the MRX, all variants. So that's all the prototypes, etc. And yeah, some force feedback changes as well. So, and I certainly noticed some of the force feedback changes. So they've changed that in the AJR, the stock V8, the MRX, MCR, and the Roco. So again, mostly the prototypes. But yeah, so what I wanted to show you actually is yesterday I showed some demonstrations of the AI having superior grip to me, and I think it's eased off a little bit, and it seems a little bit better. So I'm going to show you a demonstration again of something what I just basically repeating the same test, and things have definitely improved. So which one was it? Let me find the stuff. Cars. Come on, cars. So is that bad boy? And we're at that track. So hopefully I can replicate my results from earlier, because it's a bit difficult when you're trying to, when you know you're being filmed, etc. But we'll see how we get on. But take my word for it, it's definitely improved, and I'm holding my own much more closely against the AI. I'm not going to say it's like perfectly perfect, but there is going to be some element of my ability, and because I can't say I've practiced this car on this track a huge amount, so I'm probably going to make a few mistakes here, but I'll hang back a bit, because what we want to get is the AI to get to full speed around these sort of curves and see if we are competitive against them, because yesterday they're just easing away from me and I couldn't do anything about it. The force feedback, one of the cars that's been adjusted with the force feedback is this one, and it's feeling quite good yesterday, but I think what they've changed, because they didn't really say what they've changed, they just say adjusted. I feel that the skipping I get with through the force feedback, tyre skipping, has eased off. So you might see that actually when we get to full speed, you'll see the kind of wheel doing this a little bit side to side, and that's the kind of the grip, the tyre. Let me just try and hold it here. There you go. You can just see it there as the wheel's moving, and I think it's a bit less. It's less vicious than it was. So yeah, it's these sort of curves where I was really struggling to keep up the AI. They're just like flying ahead of me, and now I'd say it's certainly more equal, and potentially the difference is just my ability against the AI here. Not quite sure yet, but yesterday it was really obvious that there's nothing I could do, and I was just basically being caned by it. But you can see here that we're keeping a constant distance, but you say obviously made a mistake there, but not the same issue as yesterday. would I say it's perfect? I couldn't say, I couldn't be for sure. I couldn't tell you for sure. But I have to say, it is definitely not as like it was yesterday, and that's the key thing. And I think, yeah, I just made a bit of a mistake there. I could just feel it through the wheel. The sort of track you do need to concentrate, because try and maximise your speed through these curves is quite tricky. Yeah, I'm just not very good there. But to me, in my tests earlier, I was definitely keeping the same distance during that kind of my runs earlier, and that's just me being a bit rubbish. But I'll tell you, it is a little bit better. The other test I showed, which I'd say has improved again a little bit, but I'd say this one's probably isn't as advanced, in as much as I really can't keep up with the AI. It's V10, and we're at AJR. So have another look at this, and I'd say yes, it's not quite as bad, but again, it's this sort of part here where I can see, particularly here, where I'm not able to hold the same grip, and the AI just sort of eases. It just seems just able to kind of just creep further away from me, and has a huge amount of speed and grip where it shouldn't be. Well, I don't think it's fair. It's a bit of they just have an advantage, which is unfair. But after this, I don't think it's as bad as it was yesterday. But I'm going to show you something else after this, where it shows you where the same car on another track is not a problem. And it's something I did say yesterday, was car and track combinations can make a difference. And I didn't show that yesterday because it was a long video, and I didn't want to make it any longer. But today's update and me doing a bit of pre-video recording testing, it does seem to be a little bit better. So I'm not expecting it to be perfect on here, but and certainly my driving is not going to be very good on going in a Formula car and trying to talk is just mental. It's I'd probably pick the wrong options, don't I, these tests, but I kind of, it's my fault. I went down this rabbit hole, and now I have to really follow through with it. Force feedback's amazing though. That's one thing, regardless of any of these little AI kind of things, it feels so good. Regardless of it, the driving experience is fantastic. I love it. So that side about these quirks with any unbalancing, I can write off a lot of it because I just love how this drives, the feel of it. See, that wasn't too bad, but I still feel they have a little bit on me. I think they still have a little bit of an advantage on me. Like I said, I think it's closed up a bit. It was not as bad as it was yesterday, and I do wonder, is it sort of a placebo that maybe I'm just a bit quicker today? Because it can happen, right? From day to day, your brain processes the information from the previous day, and you get back in the car and you're just a little bit better. Yeah. Like I said, it's not perfect, but I'd say it's not quite as bad. I'm holding my own a lot more. It's a lot closer, and like I said before, they would have been, or the AI would have been like far down the road, and I wouldn't have had a chance. So I definitely feel I'm having a little bit of a fairer battle. So this isn't too bad, considering compared to yesterday. This is a lot of progress. But yeah, there you go. It's here where I really can't take that same line as them and with the same amount of speed. But yeah, so that's alright. That's not bad. But what I did want to show you is Imola, because which is a very different track, very, very different indeed. And you can see we've got lots of these long kind of high-speed curves here. Imola's fast, and then lots of braking and acceleration and tight corners. And against the AI on Imola, same car, I was holding my own just fine. And really it's down to my ability, quite honestly, on this one, which is, you know, hit and miss sometimes. And we're still running at 835 on the opponent's skill level. And I have to say, I think the only issue I really have here, fortunately we do have lower skill levels, because the 35 is actually still pretty high end for me. It goes up to 120. And if in most sim racing titles, the scale is 100, right? And my normal level is between 80 and 90. That's what the range of what I pick, depending on the car and track combination, etc. But here it's 35 out of 120, which certainly makes, when you look at the numbers, it makes me sound like I'm a noob and haven't got a clue. But I'm working pretty hard, and it's and I'm still having difficulty keeping up with the AI. So I think their scales need to be adjusted a bit. I think that's pretty fair. So don't expect some amazing racing here from me, but as long as I can basically just keep in range of the AI, I think that's what I really want to show you, is that from track to track, the AI doesn't have the advantage on this track because of the characteristics of the track, maybe, or they've tuned the AI better for this particular track. Who knows, really? But I certainly felt like I was having a much more fair race at Imola with the same car. And and honestly, a good race as well, like a enjoyable, kind of challenging, kind of little. Oh, we almost lost it then. The AI aggression is set at oh my god. Well, anyway, I screwed that up, but well, I'll kind of write that off now. But anyway, like I said, it's going around this track. I did a few laps, and I kept within range of the AI. Although the AI was ahead of me, I couldn't overtake them because it's just quite hard anyway. But I just kept the same distance all the way through the laps I was running, and that demonstrated that yes, it's actually better balanced sometimes per car on a different track. And another one I want to show you, which was something I recorded earlier, because there's a new track, Snetterton 200, and I'll just run a short race and chit chat about nonsense, right? And I had a really, really enjoyable race here. Fantastic. And I have to say, if you like the sprint race cars, and you want to run it on a really good good track, Snetterton 200. I think both Snetterton, Snetterton 300 and 200 is just as good, but that's what they released in beta 8. So I figured I'd have a crack on this. So I've already recorded the video, and I'll upload it at some point soon. You can watch that. But here, what you'll see is a completely, perfectly good race, where everything feels like a complete game. It's normal and no discrepancy in anything here. It's just like any sim racing title where you want to race against good AI. Perfect. And this just shows you, like from yesterday, and I thought I really needed to follow up because, and I did mention this, that mileage will vary per track, per car, and to to obviously balance it out, to show that there is some good things in this game, that that I should probably update it and follow up with this. And again, awesome force feedback. It's so amazing, the force feedback. Obviously, if you're using a gamepad, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But if you've got a direct drive wheel, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. The feeling of the car that coming through the wheel is unique per car. and it's just so informative. It's amazing. If I make mistakes, I know I'm making a mistake, and I can feel it from the force feedback. If I take parts of the track perfectly, I can feel it. I can adjust my inputs, and you build up muscle memory from the quality of this force feedback. You know, you understand what it feels like to take some of these corners and some of these long parts of the track, on how to get the right speed just through the force feedback alone. I'm not even thinking about what I'm seeing. I'm kind of, well, obviously I'm trying to get the right direction, but so much of it, of my drive, is dictated by that force feedback. I'm using that so much as a way to guide me on how to drive these cars. Yeah, and it's just a lot of fun because it just feels so good. Generally, when I say stuff like that, I go off the track. I noticed this when I start talking about these sort of things. I disprove it by making massive mistakes. But I think this may be slow enough for, you know, old man Jeremy to work this one out and actually be able to drive and talk, and not so badly. Talking badly, but not driving badly. But yeah, I'm assuming you're obviously looking at this thing, and look how good it is. It's great. I'm loving it. This is kind of just probably my level, maybe, of skill, where you know, because obviously, you know, everyone has preferences, and seemingly are you know, find certain cars easier to drive than others. And this seems to be the sort of stuff I like. I do like touring cars. I do like GT3 cars. You know, in a similar sort of area, isn't it? I do like the prototypes. I generally don't put myself through Formula cars that much, because I think my reflexes aren't up to that standard anymore. You know, so quite honestly. But look, yeah, it's perfect, right? You know, I'm keeping in spitting distance. I can outbrake them using my usual move. My special move is basically getting flat spots and outbraking the AI. There's no flat spot force feedback effect, because if there was, I'd feel it. And I would certainly be punished a few times, considering the way I drive sometimes. Race Room has a good flat spot effect. I'm not sure. Do any of this? I'm sure does. I think it's a Race Room, or is it R Factor? It might be R Factor too. It's been a while since I've actually been in any other sim racing title other than Automobilista 2. I've put on, I don't know, it's over 40 hours now into this game. Ridiculous. So I feel pretty well tuned into what it has to offer in most cases. I've driven every car so far in this game to different you know, different different amounts. This is amazing. This is the first time I think I've ever looked competent in one of these talk and drives. Look at it. Look at my skills. I can't believe it. Come on! Yeah, anyway, there you go. Let's stop that, because I didn't want to make this into a long video. I just thought this was a good follow-up. I didn't intend to make this Beta 8 video, but I think it was good to demonstrate, you know, it working well as well. Yesterday I showed problems, and today I could see there's still things have improved a little bit on some things, and here you can just see it's absolutely great. This is like finished content to me. That was perfect. So yes, it's easy enough to kind of you know, critique all the bad stuff, but there's some really good things about this game. It looks amazing. VR performance is absolutely 100% perfect. So if you are a VR racer, you're going to love how it looks for your headset. It's amazing. You know, it does look good. You have all the weather conditions. They work really well. You know, there's a ton of good stuff here. So, you know, don't obviously focus on all my all the things I've covered which are negatives, because obviously when I put the videos out, I have shown a lot of negative stuff, because obviously it's about kind of what makes the game difficult for me to drive. The first week it was I couldn't get my direct drive wheel to work with it. Week 2, I think there was some problems with force feedback. Then it started, progressing, and then I started looking at finding the AI was getting better. One of the problems with AI in the early betas was they just kind of had massive smashes on every first corner, pretty much every 100% of the time. That's no longer a problem, and now it's really about balancing the AI in across all the cars and tracks, and but you will find stuff that works perfectly well, and that's the thing. There are very good car and track combinations here, and as I and like I said, some cars will work better on some tracks, so maybe you'll find it's not going to be great for one particular track. Try on another track, see how you get on. Of course, my testing is very subjective. I'm picking samples and just going with it and finding these things that work or don't work. I'm not testing everything over and over again. I'm not a game tester for this product, but I do have a background in QA in my old career, so I kind of know what I'm looking out for, I guess, in some way. Not in games though, in other software development, but so that's probably something I was able to borrow some experience from, even though it's a few years ago. But yeah, there's some good stuff going on here, and understand, when they're putting these updates out really quickly, what can happen is you take a step forward in some parts, in some areas, but then then it may be regressive elsewhere. There you go, Simcat. Hello. So bear in mind that things aren't always going to be perfect. They put an updates out there, and if you're in the right car and track, it's going to seem things have improved, and elsewhere maybe it's going to seem regressed. And obviously, as a developer, they need to do a lot of testing. Sometimes they may not be doing enough testing, which can happen, and putting things out where they feel it's still a move forward, even though something else may have fallen over a little bit. And it's early days, this is a beta, still not out even in early access. And when it goes out in early access, if it's in the state as the beta 8 that I've been playing around with a bit today, I think it's okay. Personally, I think it's alright. People find flaws in it, and it really depends on which part of the game you're playing, right? So, but I'd certainly say if you are looking at my videos, look at other people's videos as well. There's going to be more expert sim racing channels that may be able to kind of dive into the technical side of of things to a higher degree than I can, higher level. They're just more experienced at that sort of thing than me, or just more intelligent than me, to be fair. So I just share the things that I've played around with, almost like just for a few hours before I make these videos. So so maybe in an hour or two. So it's never going to be hugely comprehensive all the time. But of course, because these things are quite timely, the beta's dropped, I have to try and get these things out quite quickly. Otherwise, they're just no longer relevant. So yeah, it's a bit of a kind of rush to get these out. So bear in mind that I try and be as balanced as possible. But I'm certainly going to miss stuff. And certainly I'll hit some good things, and I'll bring up some good points, but there'll be things which I don't cover, so look at things broadly, particularly my content, when I am actually just recording very rapidly after the updates come out. It's never going to be perfect, right? But hopefully it's something that's useful, and I can help you understand what's going on in the game. And certainly if you have the beta, you'll be able to at least my findings may marry up with the sort of things you're finding as well. And certainly drop your comments below the video. There's some really good comments on the beta 8 video. Let me know what you're struggling with. If you're having a particular problem, maybe mention your wheel and pedal set. Mention what car and track you're using as well, because from yesterday there's a couple of chaps, and one guy said he was having a massive amount of snap oversteer on braking, on trail braking, and I trail brake all the time, constantly. In that last race with the sprint race cars, I'm I'm always trail braking, and I had no problem with any of that. So I don't know if it's a hardware related thing or a particular car that's been had a problem with. It's had a problem with. But since I've gone through basically raced everything now, I haven't had that experience at all. But beta to beta, as I said, maybe things have improved somewhere, and then somehow some things got broken along the way, and therefore I wouldn't be aware of it, because I'm every time beta comes out, I'm not testing every car over and over again because that'd be nuts. I'm got far better things to do. But yeah, so if you're having a good time, let me know what things you're finding good about it. If you're having a bad time, let me know what you're having bad about it, because I'll have a check. I'll check it out as well, because like I said, I don't know everything. But if there's something interesting, I'll have a check it out. If it's worth running a short video on it, I will. That's what it's about, isn't it? Sharing this information, sharing it with you. Feel free to share it back with me. And I have to say thank you to everyone who's also been correcting me with some of the errors, some of the things I've said in previous beta videos. I said things which I thought were correct and I was wrong. It's only minor things, not like big deal stuff. But I appreciate that for anyone who does obviously find corrections in my in the facts that I come up with. Who knows? Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Don't expect me to be perfect all the time. And also thank you very much to oh God, I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Oh, I'll mention it in the in. Oh, I'm sorry, I've really forgotten your name. Sorry, fella. The gentleman who's been sending me all the information about the beta updates and the patch notes and all that sort of stuff. I've mentioned you before, and I do apologise because I wanted to name drop you and dedicate this video to you, and suddenly I'm terrible with names. I do apologise, but thanks to everyone who has contributed, and thank you to you. You know who you are. It'll probably come to me after I've finished this video, but I will. I dedicate this video to you, and I will make a little comment. I'll pin a comment to say thank you personally, because you have been really you have helped me make these videos by posting all the beta patch notes. Obviously they're available. I can get them now, as you know, but beforehand I was kind of flying blind, and it did make it more tricky. So yep, you made these videos more possible. So thank you very much. In fact, you made them possible. For a good portion of the weeks I've been putting these out for. So yeah, cheers, buddy. And hello, Dave. I'm glad your back is sorted. No one knows who Dave is, do you? I know that. I know who you are, Dave. Anyway, let's end it here now. Have I got anything else to say? No, I don't. I don't know. I've run out of things to say. But thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll be back soon. Obviously on Tuesday when this drops. If there's another update between now and then, I'm forced to make another one of these. So I'll do one of those. But we'll see how it goes. I've got no idea. Just play it by ear, right? But next time you'll see me, probably Tuesday after early access has dropped, and we'll have another look at it and see if things have moved on from today's beta, which I'm happy with personally. So there you go. Okay then. Well, stay safe. Stay away from people who are coughing and all that sort of stuff. Wash your hands, and hope to see you soon. So take care, happy simming, and bye bye.